Mr. Leon C. My name is Katie, and I live in North Carolina. And I've been struggling in the past few months with my weight up and down. But I have a secret weapon that has been harming me, and I know it's no good. I've spoken to several other consultants, and they seem to give me the runaround and not be direct. I don't know, it's whether for their organization or for the money, but the regimens that they're giving me doesn't seem to quite fit into the program. I came across your channel not too long ago, and I heard you speaking about obesity, living an unnatural life, and I definitely listened to a few of your new audios, and I have been impressed. I like the way you talk. I enjoy your energy and your aggression because I can hear it in your voice that you care about people and you're passionate about what you talk about. The question I have to you and for you is according to the secret weapon I have called food. Whenever I am troubled, I can't help but want to gorge and binge on my favorite foods. I tried dieting, I tried ignoring, I tried changing my grocery list, but the substituted food doesn't seem to fulfill me, but my quote unquote comfort food. Can you explain to me in your red pill Morpheus way how to change this, to get rid of it, and why it is happening? Thank you for all the good work that you do. Yes, I am a woman, and although in many of your content it is steered towards supplying power for men, but I know that it also helps me as well as a woman to understand what is going on between the sexes. Continue rocking on as you do. Much love and much respect to our channel. All right. That was the email that I received, and I'm going to go ahead and answer her question. There's something that she said before I continue that a lot of you have to understand, and especially if you are a woman yourself. I've noticed that a lot of women who may come across a male's channel or some of the male content that I may create, which isn't all of them. I told you already, if your ears aren't clogged with your dumb phone radiation that you keep putting up to your head until the doctor tells you you got cancer, then you have an idea that I talk about everything. I do not limit myself to one channel. But one of the biggest things that she said here again is she's open-minded when I'm discussing matters that may involve men. Because only a common sense person will realize if I'm talking about men, women are going to be affected as well. If I'm talking about women, men are going to be affected as well, because we have to learn how to cooperate with each other. There is going to be a cause and effect between the sexes. So therefore, there is naturally going to be a lesson for both genders, for both people. But there has been more than half of the women who would take only maybe 15 minutes of an audio if I'm talking about a man's struggle and trouble, and she'll completely walk away from the lesson. and learn nothing. And her whole excuse, what she'll say is, well, you're talking about men and you're talking for men. Therefore, she'll never learn what us men are talking about, what we need, and how it's going to affect her until she gets 40, 50 years old and she's alone, drinking milk with her cat, eating cat food next to her cat, and crying in her wine. Then she'll have to go to the pastor. She got to go to the priest. She's going to have to go to a psychologist and maybe a doctor somewhere and ask them how come she's still single or unmarried. Because she don't want to learn. It's the same one asking other people, and specifically professional men, what she needs to do to find a proper companion or a mate, when she had the information before her the entire time. If she wasn't so lackluster and lazy and sat there and if she listened to the lesson as she should have, then she would have got the information a long time ago, because it's for everybody. It isn't for one person or for one gender. There are just too many people who don't want to learn and they suffer. It's almost like you see road signs ahead. It's going to be curvy. It's going to be rough. And the road signs will tell you the bridge is out ahead of you. The bridge is out. And what a dumb person would do is say, well, you know, I'm not going to pay attention to that sign. Maybe it's going to be like later on, and maybe it's a few miles ahead of where I need to be. Or I'm not going down that path anyway because my car can't make it down that path. So I'm pretty sure the sign isn't for me. So these end up the very same people who run right into that broken bridge. And either they got to turn around and go several miles where they come from and waste gas, waste time, and look stupid while they're looking in the rearview mirror, and their kids, probably husband, most likely, you know, is looking at them like the clown that they are. Or they just simply drive over the cliff. And here they are on the front page of the news or on your dumb phone. Another idiot have KO'd themselves from the face of the planet because they didn't learn anything. So understand this, that learning is for everyone, and listen to what the professor is saying before you judge the studies. Hear the book all the way through. Listen to the lesson from the beginning to the end, and you will learn that it isn't specifically what you thought it was in the beginning, because as everything goes, generally, it isn't what you think it is. The story and the plot is going to twist. For the 15 minutes, I may talk about man's problems, but for the next 15 minutes, it might be about woman's problem that you need to hear. So if you got your thumb in your mouth and your tattoo is itching your tramp stamp in the back, or you can say the tramp stamp is itching back there and you can't sit still, that's your problem and you become your own liability. It's amazing how we are adult children today. I'm going to tell you again, learn how to learn. So what Katie is saying is awesome. And I am at honor that she called upon Morpheus for my version of the red pill. And I'm glad that one step at a time, one woman at a time, and one man at a time, it may not be fast enough, but we are slowly opening our minds to the truth. We are slowly trying to be better and understand that we have to adjust our lens and our perception of what have been displayed before us if we are to progress forward to a more possible and positive future. Well done, Katie. And yes, she is absolutely right. I am a health mugu, or guru, and I'm all about it. And so that lets me know as well, she listens. There's many times where I drop gems in my audios. I drop them in a 15-minute segment, and most idiots can't catch it. But when you are open-minded and you're looking for information, you're going to catch it real quickly and you're going to understand what I'm saying. And therefore, you're going to be empowered. So that's another thing that puts a smile on my face, that she at least, she's letting me know that she listened to the lessons. She cut the cake in the pie and she understood the flavor and the ingredients of how it was made. That's golden. That's rare. So we're going to get into the lesson. And I know exactly what she's talking about. So it's not specifically for Katie. It may be for a whole lot of other people who are listening. So we're going to go ahead and talk about her troubles and what she's talking about, food, and specifically food comfort. Let me go ahead and adjust the speakers here and get out my red pills, and we're going to get this happening. All right. The number one thing, the classified number one thing when it comes to food comfort, look at the significant physical evidence of what you're doing. You're grabbing something off of the table. Specifically, I'm just saying the table. And you're putting this thing in your mouth. What is it signifying but being fulfilled? You're trying to put something in your body because you are hungry, or in some cases, thirsty. Thirsty is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you want some juice, you want a drink of water. Okay, and for some people, they want a beer. However it goes, the whole significant sign is you are empty on the inside and you're looking to be fulfilled. That's a golden chalice right there. That is the number one issue right there. That acknowledgement, see, even if you are eating already, or you ate already an hour ago, or you're not truly full, or shall I say you're full? I know I'm confusing you. Forgive me. You are already full. You ate already. You're not hungry and you're not thirsty, but yet you still go into the refrigerator or you grab something off the table to put in your mouth. That is a sign that you're not empty in body. You're empty in heart. Did you hear what I said? You're empty in heart. For some people, because it's not for everyone, and I'm not going to get into it in this audio. It is in my other audios. You're going to have to do your homework and go back, rewind, go to the other audios. I talk about that not everybody has a soul. That's right. You are in the academy of wow men. That's what I do. I give you that wow effect. Not everybody is of a positive spirit. Not everybody is like a Twinkie. We are all familiar with the Twinkie. What is a Twinkie familiarized for? What is the characteristics of a Twinkie? The outside soft, yellowy cake and the inside being cream filled. Not everybody is fulfilled on the inside. There are just some people who just simply live. Dogs live, cats live, birds live, eagles live, elephants live, zebras, lions. Okay? Whales live. That doesn't necessarily mean they have cream in the middle, that they have a soul or a spirit. Contrary to what your indoctrinated human beings tell you, I got to put it that way for y'all to keep it raw. Because the reason why I say that too, and I'm not going to jump off subject here. Oftentimes, the mind of the average common human being always expect things to be based on its frailty and its length of knowledge. There are bigger universes outside of this universe. There's bigger worlds than your little bitty cubicle. You understand what I'm saying? Your extent of knowledge and information is only limited based on your human capacity. So the majority of people will always expect everything outside of their human capacity to be limited the same as their own human capacity. So therefore, they want to program the entire world based on their perception, their vision, based on their lens, and try to put some type of scientific jargon BS behind it to make you believe. Because most of us love to be believers and not knowers. I expect for you to be a knower, not a believer. Did you hear what I said? So therefore, they are trying to judge things based on what they can't see nor have evidence of to say, oh, everybody has a soul. Everybody has a spirit. There's a beginning and there's an end and blah, 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 based on their humanity. In fact, it's not true. Everyone is not the same, and not everyone is walking around with a soul. Animals have been doing it for years. Things is just the same. That don't mean they can't move because they don't have a soul. You've been deceived and you've been decepted by your so-called pimps they call pastors and leaders and teachers, who's only give you a book based on their limited understanding. Do y'all comprehend what I'm saying? All right. I'm only giving you tidbits here. Take your lessons over to the other channels that I just made, to the other audios that I've created for you already. Go in depth in the studies. This Academy of Wildman isn't for nothing. It's for your empowerment. If you don't want the red pill, skip your funny looking self somewhere else then. Go jump on your automatic hoverboard and you go and bury yourself down the road somewhere else in land of senselessness. Over here, we don't need your dumbness. If you want to learn something, you flip the pages like you are supposed to. So I'm not going to waste my time with that one. However, inside of a specific person who have a length of leveling, what that means is you're looking for something. Are you looking for something more? You have incomplete business. Something is not complete within your heart and specifically your soul if you have one. And as a matter of fact, I think I need to give you a reference on that one. I don't know which, I'm going to try to figure out what it was, but I made that already. I gave you a PowerPoint of how you can identify a person who has a soul and who don't have a soul. I actually made an audio for you on that specifically. So therefore, you're not walking around talking about, oh, everybody has a soul or everybody don't have a soul. The soul don't exist. No. Shut your mouth. Stop with your anthropomorphic ideas and your length of intelligence. Shut your mouth. Your space bubble is small compared to the universe. Watch what you say. Do your research first. Do the math. Okay. So in one of the audios, I'm going to try to find it for you, or you can do it yourself. Once you scroll through the titles and you take the time to listen from A to Z, I broke it down to how you can identify who has soul and who doesn't. Okay. But going back to this lesson here today with Katie and others. Okay. You are looking to fulfill something because something is incomplete within your heart and maybe even your soul. You got incomplete business that you skipped over, or you allowed to bamboozle you for a length of time in your life where your body can sense your spirit. Your body knows something's wrong because I told you in one of my other audios, it is mind, body, and spirit to be complete. If some of you who are the seniors in this academy should know this already. The three factions, the basic factions of yourself is mind, body, and spirit. The basic factions of yourself. And therefore, they are all affected as one. When one is missing, when one is distorted, when one is hurting, the rest of them feel it. The rest of them is going to be just as damaged. The rest of the faculties of your body is going to require maintenance. Therefore, your body can feel when something's wrong in your spirit. Your body can feel when something's wrong in your heart complex. Now, I'm not going to get into depth about heart as well because I can break the science down with that as well. We know that the heart isn't necessarily based on the beating muscle that you have within your chest. No. The heart is a signifier, meaning the core, meaning what makes you who you are, somewhat similar to the soul itself, where it is something that can make you or break you because it's the most vital part of your life. That is the identity of the heart, not necessarily this muscle that's beating blood. They just have similar tasks because that the core value of yourself What is most important to you in your life, which is a maker or a breaker, is the same as your physical heart. Because if your heart stopped beating, which is the core of your body, then the blood cannot flow through your lungs, through your veins, to your heart, and to your brain. So therefore, that's why people say your heart is important, or love your heart, or you are my sweetheart, or Valentine's Day with the heart, because the heart is a significant sign. Symbology. It's a symbol, meaning the core of yourself. You got that straight? But I'm not going to break that down today. I don't have the time to do it. Okay? So when I say that you need to be fulfilled in your heart, I'm talking about the core of yourself. Only you can identify that based on what makes you live, what makes you not live. I made an audio on that as well. Here's another reference. Okay? I made another audio talking about life isn't for everyone. You need to check that out. That's actually the title as well. Life isn't for everyone. That doesn't mean everyone don't deserve to live. No. In the audio, what I'm saying is not a lot of people can identify what life is based on their core definition. Did you hear what I just said? Based on their interpretation and their prevision of self and perseverance of what's valuable to themselves. A lot of people do not give themselves time to learn who they are as an individual because they're too busy trying to be the sheeple. They're too busy trying to be the asses like the masses. So they don't know themselves. They're too busy becoming an automaton and a monkey for the society. So therefore, to them, they think they're living, but they're not. They're just existing. Until you know what your life is, you're not alive. You're just existing. So go ahead and check that audio, and I break that down in details as well. That's what I mean by life isn't for everyone. Okay, it's a red pill. Take it, live, don't take it, swallow the blue pill, be absent from yourself, just like every other soulless individual. I can't make it no more simple than that, and I'm not going to pull back any punches or be soft on you. I am a man. I'm masculine. That's what I do. If you don't like it, walk away, because I'm not going to change for you or nobody else. So here it is, Katie, and for you who are listening, you need to go back and fix your broken bridge. Something happened to you in your past that you know you need to complete. Your body knows this, but your soul is far away from it because you have not been concentrating on your soul. Your soul is the same as being identified as your core self, is which what I said, your heart. Or as some people will say, eat your heart out, baby. Eat your heart out. Or when something is wonderful in your life and you come encounter with something that is in your words, blessing, and it is something that's going to uplift you immediately and is healthy for you, again, they will use that expression. Ooh, eat your heart out, baby. Eat your heart out. Because it's going to affect the core self of you. Too many people are living like automatons where you are ignoring your inner man. You can ignore your inner man for so long where your inner man will start knocking on your door. And the way that your inner man, whether it is your soul or the core version of yourself that you have to identify, is going to make you eat everything. I don't care how you try to formulate a plan. Your inner person needs attention. The inner person is like a third person, or let's put it like this. How about this for some of you who don't really get this quite yet? You know, according to the new society that we have today, it's almost like we have to refurbish the world again. We have to refurbish the human thought. Okay, it's like we have to reschool ourselves from the ignorance that we have allowed ourselves to be encroached with from the previous generations. If you want to accept it that way, please do so, because that might be more accurate than anything else. Starting all over again, or renewing the human mind. When this person inside you, whether it is soul or the core of yourself, your heart, okay? When you are ignoring this thing, over time, it becomes alive and it wants to fight back because it needs freedom and it needs closure to something that you consistently what do you call that? Evaded. You parried off. You ran away from, you lied to, you deceived yourself, you dived into anthropomorphic ideas, you accepted cognitive dissonance, you became a one-itis idiot, or you just didn't listen to your elders or people that have come before you to warn you about living a proper and fulfilled life. Because generally, the common person, as we all know, always want to be into the newest society, the new thing, new technology, new ways of living, new jargon, new lignity, new swagger. Everybody wants to be this cool person dressing just like what everybody else accepts for them to dress. So you lose yourself somewhere. You lose your bridges somewhere that you have forgotten. But your inner man, let's just call your core self your soul. How about that? Let's just do that to make it simple until you go back to those audios and you get the details of this discussion. Let's call it soul. Your soul will not forget, and it gets angry at you. And a good identifier of an individual who have been neglecting themselves, sometimes they are completely obese. That's right. They are completely out of shape. Their house is dirty. Their car is dirty. Their breath stink. Okay. You don't want to sit next to them because when they get up, okay, you can smell their rear end puff of smoke in your face. If you're too close to them, you don't even want to be around that person because they're not themselves. There's almost like it's no different than a zombie. That's right. No different than a zombie because something inside of them is lost. People who ignore their inner self, again, your inner core, which again is your inner soul, they make very bad decisions in their life. They choose the wrong people in their world because all they want to do is have company. They don't want to be fulfilled. It's almost like a woman who never wants to be alone. The question is, why can't she be alone? Why? Because that woman or that type of woman, she can't be alone with herself. She's uncomfortable with herself. She can't trust herself. So she needs somebody to be around. She needs somebody to be there to, to validate her, to give her a sense of direction or a sense of protection. Because she isn't the Shangri-La and because generally she doesn't have her core self. I'm not going to go deep into this because this is going to branch off to a totally different other audio that I've already made. But just to give you a gem on this one for some men, okay? When you are with the girlfriend or a wife, this is one of the core reasons why they're able to walk away so easy. When your girlfriend can just step on your heart and cheat on you, and you want to bring closure to the relationship, you want to mend the pieces between you and your girlfriend or your wife. Okay. One of the reasons is she already left you and you wasn't her core to begin with. She don't have any feelings there. There's no soul involved. She wasn't with you with her heart and soul. She was with you for comfort. She was with you for financial stability. She was with you because she simply couldn't be alone, and she used you as the puppet that you are. Because all she was an empty zombie, and you realize that when she's walking away from you with a straight face. The only time when she will realize that she messed up, and she didn't realize, she just want to come back to you because she recognized you in your comfort zone, When things get bad out there in the world, she come running back. She ended up picking up the phone talking about, I haven't talked to you in a couple of months and I miss you. And can we talk? Will you forgive me? I was stupid. No. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Okay. She's going to come right back to you because all she's looking for is a vassal. What do you call that? A host. But anyhow, that's just a little gem there. Getting back to the subject. That's not for every woman. That's for that, what I say before, type of woman, which may be in the masses. So what happens is not only do you become zombie-act, your life is always dependent on other people to guide you somewhere. You're looking for validation. You need a counselor all the time. You need a doctor to give you a pill all the time. You need television and your dumb phone to tell you what to do every time. Okay, it goes downhill from here. There's too many things to talk about when it comes to this. Just know it's almost like taking the engine out of the car. You're not going nowhere and your life is going to be a living hell. And comfort food is just a small example, but it's a major source that a lot of people think it's lesser evil than going for drugs or drink. That's another audio I made for you. The title of that audio is called Drugs and Drunken. You need to check that out. I go in details on that as well. Okay. A lot of people think that eating is safer than drinking or taking drugs. So guess what? Guess what? It is still a form of drug and it's still a form of stimulant because what did Katie say? What did she say? She said it's her favorite kind of food. Her favorite comfort food. It's not just any type of food. It's the comfort food that her taste buds is used to and her body gravitates to it and it gives her happiness signals, stimulates her dopamine, stimulates her comfort senses, stimulates her body in a certain way. And the reason why this is being done, once again, it's not fulfillment for her body. It's fulfillment for her core self that she have ignored. The consequences is going to be you gaining weight, you getting diabetes. Okay. You're having heart problems. You're having clogged arteries. You can't run no more. You got lack of energy. You start slowing down your metabolism. Your hair is mangly. It's matted. Or is shorter than what it needs to be. You start getting pock marks. You get pink marks all over your skin. Your derma is bad, which is your skin in general, but your entire body derma. Things start getting bad because of your bad habits, but it's not general. Listen carefully to Dr. Morpheus. It's not generally the food that you put in your mouth that's the damage. The damage is that you have ignored your soul. You need to go back and find out where you did not complete yourself. It's almost like you're reading a book, okay? And it's not like that, but just for example, you reading a book and you skip chapter 9. And realize this, okay, you read all the way up to chapter 8 and the book is good. You know the story through and through. You're like, oh, okay. You skip chapter 9. Guess what happens when you go to chapter 10? You're like, what the hell just happened? I don't know what happened now. What people will do, this is what you do. Chapter 9 is your soul. Chapter 9 is your core self. Chapter 9 is going back to somebody say, I'm sorry. Chapter 9 is saying, could you please forgive me? Chapter 9 is going back and realizing life differently than what you are trying to deceive yourself to be. Did you see what I just said? Going back to chapter 9 is accepting reality. Chapter 9 is doing what you can to make your life better, or whatever is going on in your soul. I don't know what it is, whatever your core soul is, your core heart, that you know the bridge is broken, that you know you can't forgive, that you know you're not praying enough, you're not talking enough, you're not jogging enough, you're not eating the right food, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm uncertain. But whatever it is, you know what it is. Whatever that broken bridge is, you need to find out where it is. But however, when you skip over it and you want to be a placater, zombie, you want to go along with this common society today, you want to ignore the facts and the truth, and you skip over chapter 9, okay, and you start your life off on chapter 10, okay, you're never going to be complete. You never know the full story. You're never going to be fulfilled. You're still going to have a question on your mind. You're still going to be uncertain about tomorrow and what you need to do for yourself, because you're just going on misinformation that you have provided for yourself. Do you see why I also referenced again in the beginning that you need to go back to my other audios as well? Because it's almost like the same thing here. You jump into chapter 10. You don't even know chapter 9 that I have prepared for you. If you go to chapter 9, which is my other audios, and then you come up to the latest audio from going through there like you are supposed to. Because I know people that have watched like 4 audios or listened to 4 audios. Listen, girlfriend and boyfriend. Listen, okay? I got like 160 something audios. Don't play yourself stupid. It's going to be a while before you catch up if you're new to this channel. That's why it's on audio, so you can put it in your earbuds. You can walk around. You can go to the gym and listen. Okay? You can be in your office and listen. In the privacy of your home and listen. Go do your gardening and listen. Wash your car and listen. I made it that way on purpose so you can live your life physically active while you are listening to me. I practice what I preach. If I want you to be healthy, if I want you to be empowered, I'm going to provide you with the tools to do so. You see how slick I am? You see how smooth Morpheus put it together? Realize the game here. But don't come to me talking about, oh, I know everything that you talk about, Morpheus, and you only listen to like 3 or 4 audios. Get the hell out of here. You're still a child and you're still immature. You're still in 1st grade. Go through the measures. So let's bring that back over to this discussion we have in here. So chapter 9 is just like that. You missed the information. You really don't know what's going on. So you live your life on chapter 10. Guess what happens? Your body's like, I know something's wrong. Your soul is saying, I know something's missing. Something's missing out of the story. Then you hear people talk in a certain way. Life is operating a certain way. You're one of those girls talking about, where did all the good men go? I can't get married. Why don't anybody want to commit? Here we go. Or some of you dumb men. Why can't I find me a good woman? Why they keep on flipping on me? How come there's so much bait and switch going on in the world? What's going on? Why do I keep what's going on with all these divorce issues? Because you skip chapter 9. Or you struggling in your own life, whatever goals that you have, you skip chapter 9. And your body, what does it do? It eats. Your body's going to find the physical way of taking care of that. And for some people, I made an audio on this as well, but you'll get that once you start perusing through the books like you're supposed to. Okay. Some people will use sex as an escape as well, and it won't fulfill them. You hop from person to person and you know something's missing. You know your core got its arms crossed, again, like me, the Indian chief, arms crossed, and it's still saying, how? Every time you try to fulfill it, it's still saying, how? And your body will be bristling with your Pepsi, your potato chips, your cookies, your sweet cakes, donuts, fast food, chicken, burgers, ribs, king ribs, baby back ribs. It don't matter what you eat. Your soul is still going to be sitting there, haven't moved an inch, haven't made a yawn, haven't flinched, eyes wide open, and your soul is saying, how? You will not be fulfilled until you go back in which you came from and you fix the broken bridge. You apologize. You get your soul right. If you believe in God, I don't, but if you do, that's fine. If you believe in God, go back and apologize to God. Get right by God. Go pray longer. Go to the priest and put some anointing oil on your scabby forehead. Do what you need to do to fulfill yourself. Or are you going to fulfill yourself in other negative, self-destructive ways? Only you know what that might be. Maybe it's your family dysfunction. Maybe it's probably your mother or your father that you need to go and see to make sure that they are okay. Maybe it's your son or your daughter that you need to go and make sure that they are okay, or apologize to them, or let them know the real story, because guess what? We lie. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go there. You know what? I'm gonna go. Let me take the gloves off for a second here. There is women who know that they dog their children out for the sake of hurting their husband or their boyfriend. Oh, hell yeah. I'm going there. I'm going to go there. You know, Morpheus don't play. I go to the dark places. They know it. They know after a certain age, they realize they kept the lie for 20 to 30 years. They lied to the child when the child was old enough to listen and learn, and said their dad was deadbeat. Their dad was no good. Their dad did not want to be around. But it was the mother's fault. It was her fault why he's not there. She bait and switched him. She cheated on him, or she said, I'm not happy. And she wanted to go right back out into the streets and find other men to find other men to be a replacement father for the biological father. And she knows she's wrong over 30 and 40 years. And her soul is disappointed. Her soul had been standing there in front of the hut the whole time, saying, once again, classroom, how she played herself. So for those types of women, they're going to have to go back and apologize. They're going to have to go back and tell the damn truth to the child and ask forgiveness from the father. That's right. Now you could say, well, Morpheus, what about the men who walk out? Shouldn't they apologize too? Oh, men have been kicked down enough. Okay. And I'm not saying that because I'm a man. I've been listening to channels. I've been listening to the Maury shows and Ricky Lade and Oprah and all these other funny looking shows to try to beat men across the head. Dr. Phil and stuff, making men feel like or think that they're insignificant to everybody else. No, men have been kicked and stepped on enough. Okay, but I also know that men have been lied to for a long time and disenfranchised by evil men, by Little Red Riding Hood that are coming to your hood with a little bitty red hood on and a basket to pretend to be so nice and kind and deliver cookies and cakes, but she was the biggest devil and enemy in the entire block. It's kind of funny that you're waiting for a SWAT team to come in. You're waiting for the military to come in and lock down the block and everything like that, or some type of mass terrorist group to come in and destroy the whole town and country, right? But it's this little bitty Little Red Riding Hood, one little bitty female to come in and be a catastrophe 3 times fold over. Okay. And you know how it starts? I'm going to tell you where it starts. The core. This little bitty thing called love. And what's the next word? What's the next word, Morpheus? Trustworthiness. What's the other one? I know you got another one. Loyalty and commitment. Oh, nice. All those things have been bashed. So because of that, the dissension and separation began. And there's no greater destruction than a separated people. Let me say that again for you. There is no greater destruction than a separated people. What brings separation in the family but separating? Divorce or getting into it for the wrong reasons. But anyhow, let me not jump on that. Let me stop on that one. Okay. Pump the brakes. So a lot of those women know they need to go back and apologize and forgive or tell the truth, tell the story, be responsible for the action. But when they don't do that, they end up, here's an audio that I made. Let me get that out for you. The next audio, it's called Miss Lady Warface. That's a reference. I break it down to that. Okay. That's a link as well. It's don't fret. It's a new audio. I mean, if you're a child and you don't have no patience. Okay. I break that down. She end up like those women that I talked about in that audio. She ends up older, 40, 50, 56, bitter, and she's on the point of living alone and dying alone as well. Okay. And happy to do so because she wants to listen. She wants to bury with herself her deceit and her lies that she spewed in the minds of her children and those who were around her instead of telling the truth. And so therefore she ate herself to death. She literally ate her heart out. So sometimes our drastic bridges can be like that. It can be very simple. Do you know what type of relief it will be for your soul to go to someone and tell them, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I was wrong. You will feel brand new. You will feel brand new. There are some people who had a family reunion and they were all bickering against each other, backbiting, lying, stealing, telling false stories, false allegations against their own family. And when they had a family reunion and they start forgiving each other and hugging, there was tears. They became the best family afterwards. Could you imagine? They became like best friends, but they were family. And the reason is they were able to forgive each other and start new. The bridges was healed. Their life was fulfilled. They can probably sleep better at night now. You can sleep better at night knowing that you went back to your core problem, that you learned how to forgive again, that you told the truth finally, that you relived your life. You relived your life by going back to what caused your heart pain to begin with. There are some women who know that there are some men that are with them because they just want to have sex with them. They know it. They know that their booty isn't fat. It's actually, it's not PHAT. It's FAT. With cholesterol, right? I'm not even going to go into, it's just fat. Flubber. They know that they aren't in the life that they need to be in, but they're patching their way through existence by allowing these guys to just be with them, whimsical. And their inside is hurting. Their soul is hurting so bad where they're comforted by their food. They're comforted by their marijuana. They're comforted by smoking and drinking. They're comforted by putting on a Beyonce song. Okay. They're comforted by sitting here listening to, deep, slow rap music. Have you heard of that before? Rap music that they slow it down where you can hear the words. No, I'm not going to rap for you because no, I don't like rap like that. I'm not even going to even try it. I can sing, but I'm not going to rap. But they will make a remix of a song and they'll make a rap song out of it and they'll slow it down while they're in their car smoking weed at the same time because they're lost. They got bridges that they didn't mend or fix. You got what I'm saying? Especially if they're a heavy smoker, original smoke, that is tobacco, that is. Or even alcohol, which is the other steps away from food, even though all of it to the body is a drug, food and alcohol. Okay. But they take the most extreme route, which is alcohol, because they need to be fulfilled. They have an empty hole in their soul. And no matter how much you drink, you're never going to be fulfilled. And in order to escape further, you got to take more of what you had. First, you start off with a pack of donuts a day, maybe 3 donuts to almost damn near a dozen, per week or something a week. You got to have like a dozen donuts a week. How about that? And you're happy to do so with sugar, with heavy coffee, with Red Bull, with energy drinks, because you don't have no fulfillment. And what's worst is your body energy is no longer there because you're unmotivated. Your soul starts killing you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's right. That soul inside of you. When you keep ignoring your soul, it's going to be your internal assassin. It starts sapping your energy. It's going to start sapping your motivation. It's going to start sapping your ability to be ambitious about life. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. That thing that you don't see, that you don't smell, but you know you can feel it every now and then. Every now and then your soul's going like this. Hey, let me out of here. Hey, what about me? Help me. Hey, I need to eat. Hey, hey, hey. Eventually your soul is going to stop. Listen, the worst thing that you ever want to happen to you, besides the terrible end, is when your soul goes quiet. When your inner soul, when your inner core self stops speaking to you and giving you signs that it needs to be fulfilled, be looking out. You better be looking up, because that soul is quiet because it's attacking you now. It's going to be taking, I just told you, your energy. It's going to be disappearing. It's going to be disappearing from the existence that your interpretation of God gave you. And again, the sign is you can't get out of bed in the morning. You're unmotivated. You don't got no more energy. You can't think straight like you used to. You're fumbling all over the place. You're starting to forget things a lot. Did you hear what I just said? You're starting to lose your life internally, and you start getting older faster. Gray hair faster. Wrinkly skin faster. Bad joints, oh yes, faster. Because you neglected your soul. Now your soul is out for revenge. And how it gets its revenge is by dwindling away. I got a principle in this academy that I want you to take into your mind in your black box. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Big time. So guess what? That's why you keep eating. That's why you seek in the comfort zone, because you're not comfortable within yourself. You're not comfortable with yourself. You need to start being comfortable with yourself by going back, patching up, and fixing your mistakes. Now, I'm not talking about putting a Band-Aid on it and some tape and some glue. No, I'm talking about refurbishing the problems in your life. Building the bridges that are broken. Fixing the burnt villages that you've burnt down with your bad attitude, with your lies and your deceptions. Do you hear what I'm talking about? Forgiving where forgiveness is due, and especially forgive yourself when you're done for waiting so long. You forgive them and you forgive yourself for holding a grudge against them. That way you can clean the slate, you can fix it, you can rebuild it, and move the hell on. Until then, your soul's not going to let you, and it's going to be your reaper in the end. That is usually your number one answer right there. It doesn't have to be complex. You don't need a psychologist, and you definitely need a doctor to try to explain it to you when your body is already talking to you. Your mind knows this. You want to ignore your mind. Your soul is barking at you, and you know this. You just want to ignore it because you want to go along with the other zombies that are trying to transform you to be just like them. So because you want to be like everybody else, a zombie, that's what you become eventually. Therefore, whatever problems that you have, you need to be comfortable with yourself. Sit down for a while. Love who you are. Deal with you. Have self-discipline. And self-discipline, self-control comes from having your life in order. Did you hear what I said? There's another audio as well. There's a lot of audios that's attached to this one. I guess this one's a huge hub of other audios I made. I made an audio called Control or Be Controlled. You need to check that one out too. Okay. Another one is called Planned Obsolescence. That's on fire. Okay. And here's another one. Planning to Slowly Fail. That was serious. You need to listen to part 1 and part 2. Both of them are together. So that's your answer. And thank you, Katie, for this great discussion. And that may touch and help somebody else out there in the world, because we are in this together. Let us learn how to be better and advance ourselves and start paying attention to our inner man and stop thinking everything is based on your physical world, because you don't know everything. Your length of knowledge and understanding is based on your humanity. The world is bigger than you, and you need to understand that. And while you're doing that, understand that you have your T's crossed and your I's dotted before you move forward. This is Leon C., aka Morpheus, and you have been served a red pill. Like it, share it, subscribe it. And a lot of you are watching these lessons in the Academy of Wildman and you're not liking enough. Like it so other people can get this and reap the services of this knowledge that's very vital for somebody. You never know, you just might save somebody's life. Stop being selfish and open up your mind for someone else.